Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Paul Lucas and this morning I'm at LaGuardia Airport in a newly renovated and very pleasant Terminal B. It's really wet outside. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's not going to dampen my mood. I'm flying today with Southwest Airlines, one of my favourite low-cost carriers in the world. I'm off to Denver, Colorado. Come with me and enjoy the video. LaGuardia is New York's third airport, but still serves a considerable 30 million passengers every year. Located in northern Queens, it's the closest airport to the centre of Manhattan. I've often heard bad things said about this airport, and this was my first time passing through. I didn't know much about this airport before I travelled, and I have to say it left a positive impression on me. I was using the B terminal, which, as it turns out, is one of the first areas of LaGuardia to undergo a comprehensive renovation process. These plans are so comprehensive they basically involve demolishing the airport and rebuilding it again from scratch. An on-site hotel, people mover, new retail space and a conference centre are all planned. It'll cost around $5 billion. I've never been to the old parts of LaGuardia, so I can't really speak for them, but I have to say I think the authorities are on the right track with these new B terminal gates. A lot of airports in the US can come across as very dingy and claustrophobic spaces. These public areas in the new terminal are absolutely fantastic. There's so much space, everything seems much more open than it normally does in an American airport. There's also an abundance of natural light, which is excellent. I've been through Newark and JFK several times in various terminals, and I have to say these new gates at LaGuardia trump every experience I've had in those two airports. Southwest don't sell food on board their flights, more on that later, so I went to Shake Shack and got myself a really delicious and fattening breakfast muffin. I had some time to kill after this, so I just hung around by the gate areas, which have got comfortable new seats, all of which come with multiple charge points. If you've never flown Southwest before, you should know that they use a very different boarding process to most airlines. Everyone is given a boarding group, A, B or C, and an exact numbered place in line. Families and passengers needing more time board first, and then A, B and C are next to board in that order. The earlier you check in, the closer to the front of the queue you get. You can effectively buy priority boarding by choosing the early bird option, which automatically checks you in early on in the sequence. This will also be printed on your boarding pass. And one of the reasons that you'll want to board early? Southwest don't actually assign seats. They're one of the few major airlines in the world that still operates open seating. I've flown Southwest a few times now and I still can't decide for myself whether I like this approach or not, and I'd be interested to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments section below. Southwest operate an all Boeing 737 fleet, and every single cabin they have is an A3-3 configuration, the standard for any 737 anywhere else in the world. If you're lucky enough to board very early, you'll probably get an extra legroom exit row seat or a front row bulkhead, but apart from that, pretty much all of the other seats are exactly the same on these 737s. Southwest is the original low-fare airline, and its success inspired airlines all around the world. However, while in Europe low cost tends to mean minimal legroom, I have to say there was a lot of room here for my legs to stretch out. The pitch on the 737-700 is 31 inches.
In the unlikely event of an overwater landing, there's a life vest under your seat. Remove the vest only if told to do so. Fluid tap to open the container, remove the pouch. Place the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist. Buckle in front and hold it tight.
As we climb out, let's take a quick look at the route map for today's flight. LaGuardia to Denver is 1,618 miles, and it takes just under 4 hours to make this journey at an altitude of 36,000 feet. Making all of this content isn't cheap, and I'm grateful to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 25,000 classes in design, business, and more. I found Skillshare very useful, and there are all kinds of courses out there. I found this tutorial on how to get the best results from basic camera equipment really helpful. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, your creativity, or even your career, Skillshare is a place to keep you learning and thriving. And to that end, Skillshare is giving away a free 2-month unlimited access trial to all of my subscribers who click the link in the description box below. And after that, it's pretty cheap at just $10 per month. Now, back to the flight. Which was really bumpy for pretty much the entire duration. I don't think I've ever flown on a flight this long where there was turbulence for the entire duration, but hey, that's beyond the control of Southwest. Anyway, onto the catering. A lot of the people I speak to in Europe who haven't flown Southwest are always really surprised to find out they serve free drinks and snacks on board. If you want something alcoholic, of course that's going to be extra, but still the prices are fairly reasonable considering you're 35,000 feet in the air. Southwest's service on board is characterised by being informal and friendly, and it was no different on board this flight. By the way, if you get a chance, these shortbread things are absolutely delicious. In Europe, we tend to think of low-cost carriers being along the lines of Wizz Air or Ryanair. In Europe, there are charges for just about everything it seems, and if you want anything on top of the basic fare, it's definitely going to cost you money. Southwest is a much simpler proposition. There is no food for sale at all on board any Southwest flight, so make sure you pack your lunch before you fly, just like I did. With over 100 destinations crisscrossing the United States and Central America, Southwest is the go-to airline for millions of Americans. I've always thought low-cost airlines should be akin to getting on a bus, and that is just how simple Southwest make it. With 2 free checked bags up to £50 each, free snacks and drinks, and in general a very easy-to-use service from start to finish, I really love Southwest. The seats on board even have a couple of inches of recline, which meant that I could catch up on a little bit of sleep on this 4-hour cross-country flight. As far as in-flight entertainment goes, there's no seatback TV screen for every passenger, but there is an onboard magazine which has some pretty cute articles, and there is absolutely fantastic Wi-Fi. Watching live TV, sending messages and watching movies over the network is absolutely free. And access to the wider internet is charged at a very reasonable $8 per flight. I think that's a complete bargain given this flight was 4 hours long. The internet speeds themselves are good and allowed me to stream YouTube with absolutely no issues whatsoever. As we descended into the Denver area, there was another drinks pass, and we made a very turbulent approach into Denver from the south. As you'll have seen from earlier in the video from my receipt stub, this flight cost me $179 one way. That does include, of course, the free snacks and drinks, and 2 checked bags up to £50 in weight each. Considering I booked this flight with just a few weeks to go until departure, and this got me most of the way across the country, I think I got a pretty good deal with Southwest. I know it can often seem to a lot of my viewers that I travel in business class all the time whenever it's an available option. I've flown Southwest several times now and have been consistently impressed with their service proposition and how they deliver it. It's a very simple product done well with absolutely no nonsense, and that's really all I want from a budget carrier.
And that's it for another video. Welcome to Denver at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. Let me know what you think of the video and what you think of Southwest. Perhaps you've used them before. Let me know in the comments below. But until next time, I'll see you around.